Welcome to the KickBack FC. Thank you for joining us once again. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.
Yo, everybody, welcome back to the Kickback FC, your go to spot for unfiltered real talk, all things soccer. Here we've got it all. We'll break it down the biggest moments, the hottest takes, and everything that you need to stay plugged into the world's game. We'll even tap into some other sports from time to time because if it's big in sports, we've got our thoughts on it. Whether this is your first time rocking in with us or this is, somewhere where you come to get your news, we just want to say thank you to all of our friends and supporters. Once again, my name is Cornelius. I'm joined by my boys and fellow co-host, Mike. How you feeling tonight, man? Good to see you
Uh,
back.
I'm feeling great, man. It's good to be back, man. We had a great weekend. Seeing you boys, watching Gabriel at the Crunch game. It's good to be back. How you feeling, Gabriel?
I feel good. I'm definitely a little injured right now, but from yesterday's game, but yeah, yesterday's game was good. Got a dub, back to winning ways. A lot of people pulled up. Pod pulled up. Appreciate y'all. A lot of family and friends pulled up too. So yeah, just good to be back in front of the home fans. What about you, Salam?
Feel good, man. They was hacking my boy, man, this past week.
Yeah,
Definitely
I
got
got a
invited.
heat. I got a heat pad on right now, bro. It's bad.
Yeah, man. But no, it was a lot of fun, man. Excited for tonight's episode. What's up, Cornelius? How are you?
Good, man. Like you guys all said, it's been a great weekend. Able to kick it up here in Cleveland for the weekend. Right before the snow came, we're able to enjoy the festivities after the game as well. But a lot of soccer, like we talked about last week. Honestly, the MLS is back, and that's exactly where I want to start this week. Not too much from news in terms of me, but I do want to, start how we've been starting these last few years when we, talk about the MLS and start with our Ohio teams. Last year we had the, fortunate, I would say, ability to witness Ohio teams battle it out in the postseason as well as the regular season. Cincinnati came out on top, in that matchup. And, Cincinnati's kind of picking up right where they left off. 2-0 win this past weekend. Um, Denke looks good. He he looks like he's back in form. There were those videos of him working out, in the postseason, and it seems that he came back with a vengeance. But Salam, speak about Cincinnati and how they started the season thus far.
It was good, man. They started with 3 points at home, which was obviously a great way to start the season. The atmosphere was rocking in Cincinnati as always, so was happy to see that. It's the first game of the season, man. So like obviously you don't want to get carried away with anything, but for me the biggest thing obviously was Evander going off injured. I'm not quite sure how long he's going to be out for, but without him in the lineup is going to be a massive hole for us, and we're going to have to test our depth early to start the season. But overall, I mean, I was really happy with what I saw from the team. I fully expect us to be one of the top three teams in the East. Um, Obviously, when you look at up 71 as things stand right now, things are a lot more favorable than us, than our neighbors. But no, I fully expect this to be challenging this year. I mean, I'll say this when we talk about some of the other teams in the East, but the East is wide open, in my opinion. Obviously, we know what Miami has, who they have, and what Messi can do. But I fully expect us to be in the mix this year. And obviously, yesterday was a great start to that. But Denke got his goal. We're gonna need him firing, especially with Evander out. I'm curious to see how we're able to rally as a team now without, in my opinion, the person who deserved MVP last year. But yeah, shout out to FCC.
Fair enough, man. And you know, Mike, not to put you on the hot seat, but we've been talking about Columbus. They lost a lot of goal scorers last year. We kind of figured, Rossi would pick up the pieces, which he was able to do, but we always, knew that he was going to need somebody else to kind of help him pick up the slack. And this year you got Abu Ali. He was able to very, very early, make his mark in this league. But unfortunately, the team effort wasn't enough in the end. 3-2 loss to Portland, strong Portland team away from home as well.
Mhm.
Your thoughts on the match and just Columbus's start this year, and where do you anticipate them going?
Um, yeah, there's a lot of uncertainty coming into the season because first of all, we have a new manager. Um, as you all know, Caleb left at the end of last season to go to the Celtics, but we all know that didn't work out. But anyways, we have a new manager in Columbus, and I don't even know what to expect, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know a lot about this manager. I don't know a lot of his philosophies. I don't know how he wants to play. Um, so it was interesting watching this first game. There were a lot of highlights. There were a lot of good parts about what I saw with the crew. First thing, Wissam Abu Salam looks great. Looks like the striker we needed. Looks like the striker we missed last season. If we had him last year, it would have been, we would have had a better season. But unfortunately, when he came in, he wasn't able to see us through the season. But this year, I'm hoping that he's able to see us through the season. And his goal was a striker's goal. I mean, great finish, great composure, and I look forward to seeing that throughout the season. Um, another bright spot is that both of our important players in our offensive end of the field both contributed last night, and Rossi and Abu Salam. I hope that they can create a great partnership. But moving forward, we know that Nagby's not back anymore, but he's back in the club as a coach. So I know hopefully that's going to help the team. But we're going to miss him in the midfield. I mean, this midfield looked different this past game. It's going to take some time for these guys to mesh. It's going to take some time for these guys to actually learn their roles and what is expected of them and from this manager. So I mean, I'm not going to overreact over the first game. Um, excuse me. We were on the road to a very good Portland side. They looked great. I expect them to also be in the mix at the end of the season. So we've known Portland. Portland is a great organization. They've been able to consistently, be in the playoffs and challenging the MLS. So this wasn't an easy game to start off the season, but overall, I think it's not time to panic just yet. This is just the first game, and we have a lot of missing pieces in terms of guys that were there the previous year and this season. So it's going to take time for us to mesh. I'm a little concerned because I worry about our attacking depth. I don't know if we have enough. Russell Rowe, the young kid we had, the young striker we had, he moved to Toulouse this summer. So this past off season, excuse me, not summer, this past off season. But we're gonna see if we have enough. But that's my only concern. I don't know if we have enough on the attacking end.
Really, I'm surprised you're worried about attacking. I mean, I understand why you're worried about attacking wise, but it's the midfield for me, bro.
Yeah. No, I
Nagy is
agree with
huge.
you.
Like I know he's gonna, you know, he's gonna contribute in a different way, but they miss him in the midfield, man. Just in
Yeah.
general, bro. Like someone you can always pass to, and it's safe. So that's that comfort blanket is missing, and you can tell. But no, I honestly think Columbus will be okay. I think Cincinnati will finish higher than Columbus this year, but I think Columbus will be fine. I think Columbus will be fine.
Yeah, you guys are a young team, man. And Mike, that was a great point. Like, even when a guy like Jonathan Mensah was there and then he moved on, it's like you still had Darlington Nagby. Now you look at this team and it's a very young team with a new manager as well too. So obviously, these guys are for the most part of the season. I anticipate to be figuring out on the fly, or at least to start the season. But this is a young team, and I think if we'll see what the manager is capable of too. This is a guy who was praised for his attacking style, so hopefully he can bring that to Columbus, man. I mean, taking over for Wilfred Nancy is not easy, and you know filling a void like Darlington Nagby is also not easy as well too. But I'm rooting for them, bro. I'm rooting for them. It's them now, not us. It's them. It's them. There's you guys, and
Yeah.
All three of you guys, because all three of you guys are Crew fans, right?
Yeah, man. I respect the OGs.
Yeah, I'm kind of a Crew fan by default, man.
OGs of Ohio. But no, that's a good point, Mike. It's going to be a very new season for this team. New manager, missing Darlington Nagbe, two major points for this Columbus team. But like you said, it's just week one. You guys were able to put two in the back of the net, which is something that was tough for you guys to do, especially away from home last year. So at least you guys are scoring. I think Gabriel was right in his assessment of that midfield might need to be, bolstered up at some point this season. But we'll see how things go with our Ohio teams throughout the year. Another few matches that I did want to touch on because there were a lot of different storylines going into this season. I think one of them, especially with the way that the schedule shook up this year, was DC United. They made a big major all season and signed adjustment and signed Ty Baribo, one of the more prolific strikers in the MLS. Last year he had 18 goals and 3 assists in the league with Philadelphia Union. DC United actually played Philadelphia Union in match week 1 at home, and Ty Baribo, as you would have it, was the lone goal scorer in that match for DC United. You know, we've interviewed a few players on DC United on this podcast. We talk about it all the time, how historic this team is. And in the last few years, they haven't been making the playoffs. And this could be the year that DC United returns to the postseason. Ty Baribo, like we said, this is one of those guys that has been able to score. And I feel like DC United has struggled in the past, even with Benteke and, Baji, they weren't able to get as many goals as they needed to win some of these games. So, Ty Baribo at DC United, do we think this is a step in the right direction for them?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he could have had three on the night. One was offsides, and then I think two may have been called back. But the goal that he scored was a really great finish, and it was just so ironic that his goal was the winner, and obviously playing against his former team, DC got the dub. But yeah, you're right, Cornelius. I mean, we were talking about this before we started. Like DC United is one of the most has a lot of history in MLS. You know what I'm saying? They've been good for when they were in their heyday, they were really good.
Mm-hmm.
Similar to United. My United, but but no, man. I think like you said, he's one of the best strikers in the league. So I think when you're able to get that, like obviously you're going to be in a better position. And I mean, they had been taking it last year, but this is a team that I fully expect to be a lot better. I actually think, and I know I don't want to overreact because it's only game one, but I think definitely like making the playoffs should be a goal for them. Like there's no reason for you to finish the way how you finished last season. And like obviously, I mean, a lot of guys in and out from the off season, but this is one of the best goal scorers in the league. And DC paid a pretty hefty fee for him. So
Yeah, and I feel like defensively they look better too. Like I feel like defensively in the past they haven't been as cohesive. But I feel like they look defensively sound in this past match. So yeah, man, it'll be interesting. I think you're right, Selam. Playoffs should be a goal for them.
but I just want to say quickly too, Philly, I don't know, man. And it's all overreactionary, right? Because this is only the game one, but I don't know, man. Sports football moves quick, and I just, you went from almost winning the Supporter Shield, number one in the East last year. I don't know if that's going to be the case this year. I know it's only game one. I don't know.
Game week one hot takes quick and early.
Yeah,
I know.
I mean, we'll talk about some of the other games, but it's just some of the things that we watched yesterday. I was like, wow, that's like I don't know what game we're going to speak about next, Cornelius, but I'll just wait until we get there.
Yeah, let's get into it, man. Next game I want to talk about is Nashville versus New England. Sam Surge made me say, "Wow!" Talk about somebody who was scoring goals left and right last year. Sam Surridge had in the league, he had 25 goals and 3 assists, added another 6 goals in Open Cup. I started off with a brace today. Hani Mukhtar also added
Mhm.
with a goal. This Nashville team, they lost to Inter Miami last year in the playoffs, but I think this year, just based off the way they've started, they kind of, I could tell they're on a mission. I could tell last year they fell short of where they thought they could go. And just by the way they started this year, I can tell that they don't mean, they mean business. They're not playing around. So for me, this is a team to watch out for, specifically in the East. Um, and honestly, I think this is a team that could potentially win the Supporter Shield this year. I'm
Mm.
looking at this Nashville team, honestly. But I don't know if you guys had anything specific to say, but how far do you think Nashville can go this year?
I think they're gonna go as far as Surge and Mukhtar takes them.
Yeah, honestly, I feel the same. Salam.
They fully top five definitely. I mean, you got to give them credit. They're pretty consistent, especially Mukhtar. Like I didn't even watch this game, and I went to their game, and I was like, I already know Mukhtar had a goal or assist. Ever since he's came into the league, bro, he consistently has balled out. And obviously Surge. I mean, we saw what he did last year, but
No.
um, like I said, man, the East is wide open. This is a team that fully. I mean, I expect them to finish in the top five.
Yeah, Nashville is a team that is going to depend on those two guys. Like
Yep.
you guys said, they go as far as these two guys take them, and I strongly believe that. And no offense to their teammates, obviously they need those guys as well. Those guys help. Those guys do what they do. But I think this is a team where those two guys take that responsibility and put it on their shoulders. And they showed us last season. You could see it in the games. In games where these guys didn't perform as well, they weren't as good as they could have been. So hopefully this season, it's not completely just on those two, but I still believe that they're the strong, part of this team. This team depends on them, and when they don't show up, I feel like this team does not show up.
Yeah, I mean, couldn't have said it any better myself. Next game I want to touch on is LAFC versus Inter Miami, because Inter Miami was or is, the current holders of the MLS championship. But this year they aren't the same team. They lost a
Hmm.
lot of their
Yeah.
seniority last year with Sergio Busquets and Jordi Alba. And so when you look at this team, they are a little different. They're composed a little differently. They still have Lionel Messi, but tough loss to LAFC 3-0. Dennis Boanga with a goal and an assist. Son added an assist as well.
Hmm.
Like I said, this is a team that I'm looking out for, honestly, to do big things this year. But LAFC and Inter Miami, big takeaways from this game. Any of y'all?
Big takeaway for me: LAFC will be the team to watch for me this season. I mean, from what I saw, I don't know. Maybe they were just picking on Inter Miami, a very weak Inter Miami team. But LAFC looked really good to me. It looked like a total domination to me. Um, the weapons they have, Son and Buanga, that partnership has developed very quickly and into a very good, strong partnership. And I think these two, I mean, we saw it in their last game of the season against Vancouver. We saw it last season in the playoffs. That game, we were all talking could have been game of the season last year. It's a great game. We know what this team can give us, and they've picked up right where they left off last season. And if they can keep it up, this would be the team to be for me. LAFC. It'll be the team to watch this season. But Inter Miami just looks like a shell of themselves. They've lost a lot of experience, so it's understandable. But I'm very curious to see how they build this team to to push at least for the playoffs at the end of the season. But the way this team is constructed right now, I just don't see them having a great season. It's just they're just not as competitive as I feel like they should be for the team holding the championship right now.
Hmm.
Yeah, I just Yeah, I think you lost a lot, but I still think they're on the championship high. I really do think they'll be okay. I like wholeheartedly believe that they'll be just fine.
Okay.
I think Miami will be good, but they did lose a lot of experience with Busquets. Obviously in that midfield as well, kind of like another Nagby situation. Like you have a
Hmm.
safety blanket. Once that's removed, you have to rebuild on that foundation. So it'll take them a little bit, but I do think this Inter Miami team is still capable to go on a run. If you have Messi, you can go on a run. So
Yeah, I mean, to Mike's point, and to your point, Gabriel, I mean, Sergio Busquets is a big loss for them. Obviously, Jordi Alba is too, but I think especially losing Busquets, man, he was someone who really unlocked a lot of things in midfield for them. Someone who calmed a lot of things down, and now without him, I just feel like you're in this like constant, even more now than ever, in this constant like battle in transition, and Messi's not going to get the ball as much this year. I don't know, man. I think that this is team. Yes, they have Messi. I think this team is going to struggle this year. They'll make the playoffs and everything like that, but I just think that like we're always going to give him the benefit of the doubt because Messi's on the team, but I don't think that this team is as strong as they were last year. Um, but to your point, Mike, I think this LAFC team is good. Denny Bouanga is going to be one of my shouts now for MVP because my boy Evander is going to miss some time. Had my boy Evander started this season, he would have been my shout, but my boy's going to miss some time. I'm going to go with Denny Bouanga as uh, one of my shouts.
All right, there it is. Early shout for player of the season. Man, I wanted to talk about this San Diego team because there's a lot of good things going on in the city of San Diego right now. Started off this season with a 5-0 win against Montreal. We talked about, I think it was last week, maybe a couple of weeks ago, how they're also playing in, one of those tournaments where they had four youngsters score. Early shout out. I wanted to shout out Brian Zamble, 18-year-old who got called up, a Right to Dream Academy player who got called up to San Diego, scored in his debut this past weekend. I believe he was subbed on with about 15 minutes left and scored. San Diego team, man, we know we talked about him a lot last year, and one of the questions that I posed was, does this team have enough to continue what they started last year? And Gabriel said there would be some lull, but I think they started off this season showing that they want to be taken seriously. So I'll pose that question again, just based off the way they've started this season. Two major wins. Does this team have what it takes to make another postseason run?
Hmm. See, I want to like I said the last time you asked us this question. Um, the way this team was built in their first season makes me want to believe that the people in the front office know what they're doing, and I want to give them that benefit of the doubt. But they lost some guys that I thought were very instrumental to the team last season. A guy like what's his name, Irvin
Zana.
Lozano. I mean, he was a big part of that team last season. So I don't know how his loss is gonna affect this team, but so far it doesn't look like they've missed him just yet. And a 5-0 win, a very convincing 5-0 win too. So I don't know, but I still have faith in this team. I feel like we have to give them the benefit of the doubt based on what they've done so far. So I still believe.
I told y'all in our in session in studio, I said, San Diego, this is a team. Don't be surprised when they make a run. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna shout out to San Diego. I like what they built there. I love the connection to the right to
And
dream, and
this
also
is Salam's hipster FC, huh?
no, I'm just saying, like, and shout out to the youngster who scored too. Like, no, I mean, you cannot like not support that team. Like, I like the vibes there too. Um, I just think that there's going to be a lot tougher competition in the West this year. We just talked about LAFC. I fully expect Vancouver to still be in that mix. I think the LA Galaxy will be a lot better this year. Um, so, not that I think that they'll struggle, but we also have to keep in mind as well too. Yes, they beat Montreal 5-0 this past weekend, but I don't think that this is going to be the last time we see Montreal get beat 5-0 this season. So
Mhm.
this is just, and shout out to
Here we go.
Montreal. I want to, it's just tough. Ever since you've been in the league, I'm
You're crazy.
sorry. Yeah, I don't know, bro. Shout out to Montreal, man. That's we can move on.
No, that's funny. It's funny that you bring up the Galaxy because that is the last game I want to touch on. They were up 1-1, but got a red card and unfortunately dropped points in New York City at home. This Galaxy team, 2 years ago, won the league. Last year had a very, very, very horrendous start, unprecedented start, I would say, to be honest. And this year, they're starting to, they're looking to make a change in the way they start the season. Um, but this one is a little bit more of the same. I feel like from what we saw last year, up in a match at home, and then you give away a penalty, red card, and that kind of changes the dynamic of the game. What do you expect for this Galaxy season this year as they look to just come back from from whatever happened last year?
I think they'll bounce back, man. I think the signing of Job Klaus was a huge one. They got him from St. Louis. He scored in his debut. They just went up against a tough NYC team. I mean, like, you got to give them credit. Like, I don't think by any means we're going to see what we saw last year. What was it? They hadn't won a game since when? It was like what, 12 games, or
It
they
was
were
like
defeated.
14 almost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
It
don't
was
think it's gonna
bad.
be that. Like, I think if again, no disrespect, I think if they were to play Montreal, I think it would have been lot,
Crazy.
different, obviously. But now this is a team I expect to be much better, and I think um, they're going to score a lot of goals, man. Hopefully, they can get Puig back at some point too before it's too late.
Hmm. Yeah, I feel like last season to start the year they had a lot of injuries too. So this year they started the season a lot better with a fully healthy squad. So I think they should be better than they were last year.
No, that's fair enough. I can agree with that, man. And that was a good start to the MLS season. We still have some more games. Seattle is currently playing here as we speak, but I think the MLS season this year, last year, I feel like for the first time in a little bit, we saw some parity. We didn't really know who was going to come out the East or the West. And I feel like this year is going to be more of the same. It's going to be interesting to see which of the teams start to, climb out first and, make make a statement on the league. I think San Diego has already done that, and I think Nashville has done that as well. So those are going to be my two teams to look out for early in the year. But fun stuff happening in the MLS.